Where does sadness come from? Sadness comes from the loss of something significant, a disappointment in unmet expectations, and difficult life circumstances can all trigger this. It is a natural response to life circumstances and difficulties, and we can move through this sadness quickly with a few simple steps, which I'll tell you about in this video. At the end of this video, I'll tell you how my app that I use, it measures frequencies of emotions. I used it to help me process my own sadness and move out of a period of struggling to thriving. So, with that in mind, let's get into step one. When you're feeling sad, or when you're recognizing that you have lost something that is making you sad, allow yourself to feel the emotion that's within your body so it can be expressed. Too often, in the cultural nuances of Western world, we have decided that there are emotions that we are not allowed to feel and express because they're uncomfortable. We don't want to witness them in others. We don't want to feel them in ourselves. And so we deny ourselves the ability to feel. We may mentally process and recognize, oh, I'm really sad because my husband died last year, or I'm really sad because I didn't get the promotion that I really expected to. Whatever that may be, you need to really identify it first, but then most importantly, drop into your body and feel it. Allow your body to sit with what that is. And that is absolutely essential. Sometimes it's hard to get there. We can't necessarily do it right away because we have not trained ourselves to. So in order to get there, you have to let go of your attachment to what you had hoped for. And understand that life is a challenge. Life is full of suffering. Life changes. And so when we start to attach our desires and dreams to a specific situation, that situation changes. We can feel deep loss. We can feel deep sadness for what we thought was going to be and what is no longer. These things hit us hard. It is natural for us to have an attachment and make plans based on what we see around us. And when those change, sadness can be a very, very common response. Letting go of your attachment to whatever it was you had defined as the life you were going to have within that little space of your world where this is hitting you, you can now say to yourself, you know what? That no longer is. I have new opportunities before me. I have new things that I can do and face. And this is something that I can embrace and love after I feel this emotion and let it go. You have to feel it to let it go. You can't just stuff it down. When you have done that, when you recognize that this attachment is what is creating this sadness for you and you can begin to let it go, that'll allow you an openness to drop into your body. The other thing that you want to do if you are feeling sad and feeling difficulty really expressing is connect with people who love you and support you to help you process these deep emotions, particularly if you're facing something that is very difficult to struggle. If you're in deep grief, the level of sadness that comes from a really significant loss, don't do this on your own. Get help. Ask your friends. Tell them what's going on. They'll want to process with you. They may feel those emotions with you. You may see yourself and your sadness reflected upon the face of someone you love, and that will in turn allow you to drop in and feel it within yourself. These are important things, these connections that we have with others. So let me tell you my story of what I did, because sadness is not an emotion that I enjoy feeling. And in fact, I have learned by using this app that measures the frequencies of emotions that I feel through the expression of my voice. Just have to talk into it and it tells me. And I was, doing really well. I had actually just been out on vacation. I was excited because I was at the beach and I was thinking everything's awesome, and I recorded my voice on my app and it comes back and it says, I'm struggling. And my first instinct was to say, bullshit, I'm on vacation, I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here at the beach in the sun. And then I looked at what was there. And I realized I was sad because something had happened in my personal life just before I went on vacation that had hit me really hard, that was deep and difficult for me to accept. And I did not want that to be a part of my life. I did not want to accept it. And it was very sad for me. And I was resisting feeling it because, well, I was on vacation. I had fun things to do. I had people to be around. So it was not an emotion I wanted to process or deal with. And I didn't. I let it sit with me for a week. And I struggled every day that week. And I'd get on my app and it would say struggling again. And I could feel it in me. And I was pushing it away, pushing it away, pushing it away. I had recognized that I was sad. I knew that I was sad. And I was not processing that emotion. I reached out, I talked to people that I loved and that supported me. They helped me by saying, yeah, this is hard, and letting me know that they agreed that this was something that would make them sad. I still did not feel the emotion until Friday. It had been a whole week, and I was sitting there looking at this app, and I realized, even though I know all this stuff, I realized, oh, I've recognized the emotion. I've reached out and received help from people. I have actually not allowed, I even had let go of my attachment of what I believed and was excited about the opportunity that this loss had opened up for me. Even with all of that, I was sad, and it was not going away, and I was holding it at bay. And so on Friday, as I looked at it, I let go of the barrier between me. It was in my gut that I was carrying this barrier. I let go of that barrier that was between me and that emotion of sadness that I did not want to feel. And I opened it up. And I wept. Now, guys, I used to not cry. I used to be one of those guys that never cried. I did a bunch of therapy, and it got me to a place where I do. And it's embarrassing still for me to do. So I did this in private, and I cried. And just like when girls say when they're done, women tend to be better at feeling and processing their emotions than men. And when I finished my cry, I felt good. I felt like, wow. And then I took my app, I talked into it, and I had jumped from struggling to thriving like that because I let that emotion go. And I had already done the other steps, but I had failed to actually feel the emotion. It was uncomfortable. Why would I want to feel that? I know it's there. I've done all the other steps. Do I have to actually feel it? Yes, yes, yes. You gotta feel it. And until you feel it, the resonance of that emotion in your body cannot be released. There's so much evidence around this in how you process. And so our ability to deny what we're feeling can help you maybe function in a moment of crisis. This is a powerful thing if you are feeling overwhelmed with sadness at watching your friend get stabbed in the face by an enemy and you collapse on the ground weeping instead of defending. This is a time to put a block between that emotional response and your need to act. But it is a survival tool. When you are not in survival, when you are living a life of abundance and trying to expand and build and enjoy what you have, you must open yourself to the whole breadth of all emotional experiences and let them hit. And you will be able to move quicker through the difficulties you face rather than denying that emotion and saying, I don't have time. You have not got the time to waste in denying what you're feeling. Process it, feel it. If you have something deep, some significant trauma in your life that you must face and process, do not do it alone. Get help. Find a therapist that is specializing in that to help you deal with it, because this is not something that can be simply managed on your own in a situation like this. This runs deeper. But this is for you. If this is just a simple hit that you need to get through, try these steps. Process the feeling. It will dissipate and you'll be left thriving instead of struggling. I'm James. This is how I do it. Thanks for joining me.